The United States is rapidly expanding its missile production capability as growing conflicts around the world place unprecedented pressure on America's air defense arsenal. In a major announcement, the Pentagon confirmed a framework agreement worth more than $3 billion with Lockheed Martin and Northrop Grumman. The objective is straightforward: produce more Patriot and THAAD interceptor missiles, and produce them much faster. According to the Pentagon, the agreement will allow production of Patriot missile components to triple, while output for the Terminal High Altitude Area Defense System, better known as THAAD, is expected to increase fourfold. It is one of the clearest signs yet that Washington believes current production levels are no longer sufficient for today's global security environment. The announcement follows another massive defense contract awarded just days earlier. Last week, Lockheed Martin secured a contract worth up to $58.6 billion to manufacture Patriot interceptor missiles over the coming years. Taken together, the two agreements represent one of the largest expansions of America's missile defense industrial base in recent history. The timing is no coincidence. For months, the United States has been supplying advanced air defense systems and interceptor missiles to allies, while simultaneously consuming large numbers of its own weapons during military operations in the Middle East. The wars in Ukraine and the confrontation with Iran have dramatically increased demand for precision-guided interceptors. Every ballistic missile launched, every drone attack intercepted, and every cruise missile engagement requires expensive defensive munitions. Unlike offensive missiles, interceptor missiles cannot simply be reused. Once fired, they must be replaced. That has created growing concern inside the Pentagon over the size of America's remaining inventories. According to multiple media reports, U.S. military planners have become increasingly worried that missile stockpiles are shrinking faster than industry can replenish them. The Patriot air defense system has become particularly important. Originally designed during the Cold War, Patriot has evolved into one of the world's most effective missile defense platforms. Its latest PAC-3 interceptor is specifically designed to destroy incoming ballistic missiles using hit-to-kill technology rather than relying solely on explosive warheads. Ukraine has repeatedly described Patriot as one of the few systems capable of intercepting advanced Russian ballistic missiles. As Russia continues launching large-scale missile attacks against Ukrainian cities, Kyiv has consistently appealed to Western partners for additional Patriot batteries and interceptor missiles. But Ukraine is not the only theater consuming these weapons. The recent military confrontation with Iran has placed additional strain on American missile defenses across the Gulf. Patriot and THAAD batteries have been deployed to protect U.S. military bases, allied facilities, and strategic infrastructure against ballistic missiles and long-range drones. Every interception reduces available inventories. That growing demand has prompted Pentagon negotiators to press defense contractors to accelerate production far beyond previous plans. Under the latest agreement, Northrop Grumman will expand production of critical missile components, including PAC-3 solid rocket motors and ignition safety devices. These are essential parts required before interceptors can be assembled and delivered. The Pentagon says creating additional manufacturing capacity will reduce dependence on a single supplier while making future production more resilient. Another important factor is speed. Defense officials reportedly want companies to move much faster than originally planned. Instead of gradually increasing production over several years, manufacturers are now being asked to scale up as quickly as possible. Behind that urgency are growing concerns over inventory levels. According to a recent assessment by the Washington-based Center for Strategic and International Studies, the U.S. military may currently possess fewer than 1,000 Patriot interceptors and fewer than 250 THAAD interceptors. While the Pentagon has not publicly confirmed those figures, defense analysts warn that sustained high-intensity conflicts could consume interceptor inventories far more quickly than many planners expected. The Pentagon is not stopping with Patriot and THAAD. It is also investing heavily in long-range strike capabilities. A similar framework agreement has already been reached with RTX, formerly Raytheon Technologies, to dramatically expand production of Tomahawk cruise missiles. Current production stands at roughly 60 missiles annually for U.S. requirements. The long-term objective is to increase that figure to nearly 1,000 missiles each year. That would represent one of the largest increases in cruise missile manufacturing in decades. Taken together, these investments signal a broader shift in American defense planning. For years, many Western militaries focused on smaller counterterrorism operations that required relatively modest numbers of precision weapons. Today's conflicts are different. The wars in Ukraine and the Middle East have demonstrated that modern warfare consumes enormous quantities of missiles, drones, and interceptor systems at a pace few governments anticipated. Military planners are now preparing not just for isolated operations, but for the possibility of prolonged, high-intensity conflicts involving sophisticated adversaries equipped with ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and armed drones. The Pentagon's latest contracts are therefore about more than replacing weapons already fired. They are about rebuilding industrial capacity capable of sustaining future conflicts if deterrence fails. For Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and RTX, the agreements represent major business opportunities. For the Pentagon, they are an effort to ensure that America's missile shield remains credible in an increasingly dangerous world. As tensions continue across Europe and the Middle East, Washington is betting that stronger production lines today will translate into stronger deterrence tomorrow. And with demand for advanced air defense systems showing no signs of slowing, the race to replenish America's missile stockpiles has become as strategically important as the battlefields where those missiles are ultimately used.
Nobody else has that capacity. These weapons are incredible. And we have to be very careful about letting somebody build them. You know, it's very important. Now, we are building many plants now to make those, and the Tomahawk missile is the most incredible thing. It can go into a doorway. You can put it through a window of a house. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. You have to be very judicious, but you have to be very careful. Now, we have not agreed to that. We're talking about it, but it's a hard thing to give away that kind of technology. And I don't think this would ever happen, but you know, those people that you give that technology, they can someday turn on you. You know, that is possible. You look at war, it's happened a couple of times over the years, right? So we have to be very careful. I mean,
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to Mirror Now.